Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I'd say generally speaking, just tracking the technical analysts, chart analysts that I track, more bullish than let's say a couple days ago. let's say that. It's a little baby boo bit more positive than a couple days ago, but not entirely. There are at least a couple that think that maybe things aren't going to be so hot for the crypto asset class, including XRP, for a bit, while others seem to think, I'll share with you the specifics, that perhaps come spring of 2020, which really isn't that far away, we're almost in 2020 already, there's at least one individual that's thinking that might be more so the time frame where we're going to see some XRP price magic, if you will. So gonna run through all sorts of different opinions in this video, but before we go any further, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. Because I'll tell you, there was one guy that said something along the lines of XRP is the best position to have before liftoff. I'm kind of paraphrasing there, but before liftoff occurs for the entire crypto asset class, XRP is the one to be in here. But, so where are we at today? Well, the crypto asset class as a whole is at $185 billion market cap. Bitcoin's at 7,116. XRP's at 18.8 cents at time of recording. And in looking at the charts, not surprisingly, here's the 24-hour chart of XRP, which looks very similar to the price action of the 24-hour Bitcoin chart as well. And I always like to highlight this. It's just super fun. If you look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies on your screen right now by market cap, other than Tether and Tezos, all the charts look almost exactly the same. Correlation, which means that utility doesn't matter at all. And that's a point I made in another video today, and I think it's really important to emphasize this, that the price action that we've seen from XRP from inception all the way through the all-time high of almost $4 and all the way to today, all of it, almost all of that in terms of the actual price action, it's based almost 100% on speculation rather than fundamentals. Just think about that broad range. See, that's the type of thing that gets me personally excited. And so I'm not offering financial advice, no financial background here, don't buy or sell because of me, but I'm telling you, think about the fact that XRP could go from not existing to having a little tiny value in the open marketplace, a little price would be the word actually, an actual price, and then it got up to almost $4 without it even doing anything. And it's gone back down since then, but that means that to me, what that means is that range right there in big picture, if you can fast forward a couple decades, that little tiny range there, it's going to look like a blip on the radar. It's going to mean nothing. That just my humble opinion. Don't buy or sell because I said that. I don't want that kind of responsibility. It would weigh on me. So here's a piece from You Today titled, Bitcoin Price in 2020. Bloomberg Analyst predicts that $10,000 is more likely than $5,000. Right. With 2020 just around the corner, the million-dollar question for the crypto community is how Bitcoin is going to perform next year. The reality is that nobody really knows, but Bloomberg strategist Mike McGlone recently added his 2 cents by saying that the leading cryptocurrency is more likely to trade at $10,000 than $5,000 in 2020. And here's the tweet on the screen right now. I don't feel like I need to read through it. That shared the sentiment. And let me go a little bit lower here. So is this still a bull market? After Bitcoin's 50% correction from its yearly high, there is an ongoing debate about whether it is still in a bull market. For instance, economist Alex Kruger believes that it's bears who are actually in control despite the forthcoming halving. And I will say, for most of the technical analysts that I follow seem to think that overall still in a downward trend, but I'm just saying the short-term news here has been a little bit more positive than it was a couple days ago. So here's a tweet from Alex Kruger. Bitcoin 6,400 was the first key level below and got strongly defended. This is a bear market, though, contrary to what cheerleaders want people to believe. The halving is not supposed to make longs rich. I bet cheerleaders making predictions did not even know what econometrics means. And so there's another opinion there. Next, Bitcoin marks biggest daily gain in 7 weeks, and it could end the bear market. This is a piece from News BTC by Yashu Gola. Bitcoin on Wednesday surged by more than 10% to register its biggest daily gain since October 25th. The leading cryptocurrency established an intraday high of 7,448 as of 2200 UTC. Notably, the move uphill came shortly after Bitcoin had plunged to its 7-month low of below 6,500. That largely negated Bitcoin's week-to-week losses to 0.45%. At its highest, those declines were approximately 13%. Now, the sudden spike also coincided with a drop in short positions on Bitfinex. As of midnight Wednesday, the BTC USD shorts started plunging. 2 hours later, the Bitcoin spot price established a local swing low across the leading exchanges. And so here they have a subheading here because I don't want to go through all this, but $9,000 Bitcoin target price. All right. As News BTC predicted in its earlier analysis, Bitcoin was eyeing a strong rebound upon testing the Reddit area as shown in the chart below. The report also discussed the potential of the price to close into the purple region. Wednesday's price action showed an almost similar price movement. The Bitcoin price rebounded from the mid 6,400 region, which falls in the Reddit area. Meanwhile, bounce action took the price into a purple region as confirmed by the local high of 7,448. So let me get down here. For traders looking to enter medium-term positions, a long entry towards $9,000 looks attractive. So that's this author's opinion. Next, here's a tweet from Magic. And he says what he thinks. And I like that about Magic. He writes, "No way in hell that was the long-term bottom. It probably wasn't even a short-term bottom, but we will soon find out." Yeah. So, and that was late in the evening last night. I got another tweet from him too. But, of course, there was a little bit of a rebound. Some calling it a relief rally, saying, no way in hell is it possible that that's the long-term bottom, and maybe not even the short-term bottom. Next, he tweeted this out, and this is from today. Again, this is from Magic. "The only thing you need to do to understand Bitcoin is entering a massive longer-term bearish transition is look at the weekly and monthly charts. Bearish crossovers and divergences with bearish volume galore. Everyone thinks the bottom is near, but those charts say otherwise." And so given that I'm tracking this on a fairly regular basis, to me, it's fun to track this and see. And again, I know that it's not like Magic's saying this is what's going to happen, because that's not what chart analysis is. It's more like a likelihood of potential outcomes, probabilities. It is fun, though, when there's a stronger opinion, as seems to be the case with Magic here, to see if indeed it dips even lower when some people are saying, maybe not so fast. It's just fun to track is all. But of course, I'm not the type to even if somebody was wrong about the direction I think they're going to go, well, people are just operating in good faith here, I believe, and it's not like they're making wild predictions. They're just saying, hey, I'm a chart analyst. All of my experience indicates to me here's what's likely. So even if they are off on what they thought was likely, fine. And you can't be right 100% of the time anyway. This is not about price predictions. That's not what chart analysis is. It's about understanding the probability of potential outcomes. Here's a tweet from Altcoin Sherpa, who I've not highlighted on the channel before. Here's a new chart analyst for the Moon Lambo channel here. We'll call it that. I just came across it in my Twitter feed. Anyway, thoughts on major altcoins such as XRP and Ethereum and what I expect to see in December/January of 2020. I think a reversal will happen eventually given traditional Q4/early first quarter pumps from altcoins with the Bitcoin pair. For XRP, not opposed to thinking spring 2020. And if you think about the way that altcoins ultimately ran up in 2017, XRP was one of the last ones to do it. So conceptually, that wouldn't surprise me. Historically, XRP has just behaved a little bit differently, so it doesn't sound unreasonable to me to suspect perhaps that would be the case. Anyway, here's a tweet from Patty Stash Now. Frequently talks about XRP and is a chart analyst. And he wrote this: "We're still sitting right at the starting line. It's either the line judge pulls the trigger on the starting gun, or he dies there of old age, and for the first time in 7 years, the chart fails. I still feel 3 to 4 months of altcoin action before Bitcoin pumps." And so, and that was a retweet from another chart analyst named Astral right here. And let me just kind of pull this one up here. Altcoin dominance has to bounce. That's what the chart's about, is altcoin dominance. It's held this yearly support since 2014. And has no reason to fall through. Just look at XRP/BTC. In my opinion, this is the best position to get into before liftoff right here. And so again, so this is so Patty Stash and Astral, two chart analysts that are firm proponents for the concept of alt season eventually occurring, because again, it'll be the first time in 7 years that it doesn't happen if it indeed doesn't happen. So exactly what the timing looks like, I don't know. They don't know. That's okay. Nobody has a crystal ball except for me, but my crystal ball is broken, so it ain't doing me a damn bit of good. Such is life here. All right, next, Patty Stash asked another chart analyst for an opinion. And he wrote, so he was responding to Velvet, right? And so Patty Stash wrote this: looks like at least 4 to 5 months before Bitcoin makes its move. What do you think alts will do in that meantime? And Velvet responded. He has a different point of view. Check this out. Bitcoin will probably make a move in the near future up if we hold this level. For me to get bullish again on alts, Patty, I need to see Bitcoin dominance get to 78% first, target in March. Until then, I expect a slow bleed for the majors like Ethereum and XRP. So, not that he's saying no opportunity for alts. It's more like delayed, and maybe not as much of a certainty from his perspective there. And then Patty responded, you think the dominance can gain 10% from now until then, even though historically Bitcoin price hasn't necessarily climbed into the halving, while alts historically have gained leading into the halving. And so again, the 10% he's talking about, so the dominance for Bitcoin, it's about 68%. So if it were to get up to 78%, as Velvet cited in that tweet I read, that's what he's indicating there. And so Velvet did respond. I gave this a chance a few weeks ago, but the alt cap failed to uptrend while Bitcoin was in a downtrend, so I don't expect that the alt cap to do it now that it's below resistance. It will be hard to get above that. Bitcoin, on the other hand, still looks it probably means healthy, so I go with Bitcoin. So that's an opinion from Velvet. Last piece here, this is just for fun. It's on the same topic, price, but from Cointelegraph, Bitcoin can hit $250,000 in 2020, reaffirms Tim Draper as dominance rises. All right, data from Coin360. Oh wait, is that the part I wanted? I thought I had, maybe it was down here further. I'm sorry, I thought I knew where I was going here when I read that. Here we go. Maybe that's not it. I am so sorry, guys. I thought I had this. Oh, here we go. I guess this part down here. I just have a bunch of tabs open, and I guess I thought it was in a different spot here, so I scrolled to where I thought it was, and it wasn't. So sincere apologies here. Unsubscribe. All right. In an interview with crypto media network Block TV, entrepreneur Tim Draper doubled down once again on his prediction that the Bitcoin price would pass $250,000 by 2020. More than that, the serial investor and Tezos sponsor said the sky-high levels could appear as soon as the end of 2020, just half a year after Bitcoin's block reward halving event in May. And here's a quote. If you run a technical analysis, it looks like it'll be something like 6 months after the halving that we will cross $250,000 per Bitcoin, he said. Wow. Draper noted that at current levels, Bitcoin is where it should be, according to such technical analysis. As Cointelegraph reported, the popular stock-to-flow model for Bitcoin price forecasting puts Bitcoin/USD at an average $8,200 before the halving. So just for fun, I thought I'd cover that. What if he's actually right? Can you imagine? So there's a huge rally to that degree, and potentially as soon as 12 months from now. I'm skeptical of the time frame, but not the potential outcome. But we'll see. Moon Lambo doesn't make price predictions, damn it. Anyway, that's it for this video, though. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you sticking by the end. That makes you super cool. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything, because if anything that I say or write, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.